Hi, welcome to Easton, PA's Sarco showroom in this edition of Unload. Today we have a rather unusual gun. This gun was originally French, went to England to have some work done to it, so let's get into it. So in 1856, George Kynoch was employed by Purcell and Phillips, who made percussion caps. An explosion at the factory killed some people. They moved the factory location in 1863. George from Scotland bought the business, started managing it, and renamed it Kynoch. For those not familiar with the name Kynoch, they made ammunition, and in the 60s and 70s, the only thing that kept the big nitro African cartridges going was the fact that Kynoch still made ammunition for them, in addition to things like the 318 Wesley Richards and some other kind of obscure or low volume cartridges. So it's 1870, the French and the Germans are going at it in the Prussian War. The French unfortunately lost, and they blamed part of the reason for their loss on the gun they were working with, which was the 1866 Chassepot rifle. Well, that had a paper cartridge, which was one of the problems. Metallic cartridges were coming into being. Remember, in 1873, the U.S. went to the trapdoor Springfield from their percussion rifles. So they said, let's make this gun into a cartridge-firing gun. So Mauser was working on his actions, the Model 71 and then the 71 repeater. So they couldn't go to Germany. So France elected to go to England. And George Kynoch set up a factory to convert the 1866 rifle into what was known as the Model 1873. It fired a metallic cartridge, and this is where it gets kind of funky. 11 millimeter Mauser will fit in, but may not be the correct one, and the 11 millimeter Gras round is usually too big in the back. So Britain, being what Britain is, on the side of the gun we'll see the cartridge is the musket 43-77 380. So it was a 43 caliber or 11 millimeter, 77 grains of black powder with a 380 grain bullet. Now, unfortunately, this venture wasn't a success, as they only had the gun business open at Kynoch for a couple of years before it folded down. And the gun wasn't a success either, because in 1874, basically the same year they did these conversions, the French went with the 1874 Gras, which was chambered in 11.15 by 59R, and then later 8 millimeter Bell. So these guys really didn't have a home. There was talk that they were trying to get a contract with China. I don't know if any of that ever came to be. So looking at this gun, which you don't see too often, most of them are in really good shape. We have a barrel that's about 32.5 inches long. Overall length is about 53 or so inches. So when we went with the conversion, what we found is a gun that now opens, cocks on opening rather than closing, centerfire firing pin to get away from the needle, and an articulated extractor. On the guns we see Kynoch Gun Factory, Aston, of course Aston in England. Now, as we said before, the calibers on the side. The sight, we can adjust the sight out to 350 yards with the ladder down, and with the ladder up, it'll go out to 900 meters. Bore in this gun is in excellent shape. As the bayonet lug, I don't have a bayonet with it. Stock is in really good shape, and one thing, almost a holdover from musket days, black powder days, is notice how straight the trigger is. There's no curvature to the trigger. Again, this gun was only made for a short time. It was a conversion. It didn't have military or commercial success, but it is an interesting piece of either French or you might consider British military history. You probably would be able to get cases, dies, and make this gun shoot with some black powder. So if you're into that or just into collectibles, be an excellent choice. You go on our website to see some more information on the gun. Thanks for your time. If you like us, subscribe to us, and we do appreciate all of your comments. Till next time, have a good time.